Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the
What's up, everybody? It's your girl T from Adventures of Spirits, and welcome to Spirit Scrutiny. Today, we will be discussing the Malbec grape, my favorite wine grape. This is my number one wine. If someone told me there will be one wine, one red wine that I can drink for the rest of my life, it would be Malbec. Why? Because it's consistent. It's going to taste exactly the same, no matter what name is on the front of the bottle, who bottled it, or whatever, the grape is going to be the same. You know why? You're about to find out. All right. So, the Malbec grape, okay, even though it originates in Bordeaux, France, but although it originates in Bordeaux, France, it thrives better in Argentina. And they just started this about a little less than 20 years ago. So you're talking about 17, 18 years. Now, the majority is now grown in Argentina. And the reason it's the majority because some may still be, are still grown in France. But I can tell you they don't last long. Once it's bottled, it becomes rancid much faster. And it's just because of the cultivation of the grapes and the soil and the weather and just the whole characteristics of its growth environment. But Argentina is the best growth environment where the Malbec grape seems to thrive. And because of that, this is consistent because it's no different than tequila. If you grow your plants, your agave plants in the same place every time, same climate, you cultivate it the same way, you process it the same way, chances are it's going to come out the same way. The only time things change is when people want to add stuff to it, change stuff. The weather is different. The soil is different. The bottling is different. All those things can change it. But when it's consistent from one location and they bottle it the same, they age it the same, you're going to get a consistent wine. And I can honestly tell you, if you ever get to the red wine community, Malbec, I guarantee you will probably be your best. Okay. Doesn't mean it's the number one best, but it's in the top 3. Okay. You expect it as being semi-dry. It's very fruit forward. And it also pairs well with lamb, beef, poultry, hard cheeses, and spicy foods. It's a very diverse wine. And the cost is not even that expensive. Anywhere from $20 to $50. You might find some a little over 50, but not many. And there's definitely Malbecs that are not, less than $20. Usually you're going to go $19.99 and up in reference to the actual wine. So with that said, let's get into tasting this wine. Okay. So this wine is 3 Nights. Okay. It's a 2012 and it's a Malbec and it's Nights Valley, Sonoma County, which is where basically it was bottled, but the grapes came from Argentina. The alcohol content on this one is, where is it? Sometimes it's usually right. Where's the alcohol content? Did I pass it? Is it in the front? Oh, yes, it's on the front. This one is 13.5%. So again, you drink a bottle of this, you will be boozy. Okay. So don't think just because it's wine and alcohol content is low please understand it's still going to hit you a little bit. Okay. So, 2 episodes ago, I talked about the different ways to open up your wine. And we used, the big cork remover, right? The big wine opener. However, I also talked about, and we also used a little scorer, which looked like a little half C that you can put on the top and turn it to tear off the actual paper off of here before you actually remove the cork. But I also informed you that there was something that looked like a Swiss Army knife that comprised of all the little gadgets you need to open up any bottle of wine. Okay. So on here, it looks like a Swiss Army knife. Okay. So here you got your handle, which is what I'm holding. You have your cork remover, which is here, but you also have your scorer, this little rigid knife here. And this will serve as the piece that takes off the plastic from around the bottle. And then you also have your lever here, which will, when you use this is a hand one, and it's not like you screw and you have 2 levers to pull it up. Well, since this doesn't have 2 arms to pull it up, you use this to brace on the edge of the wine bottle and pull the cork out. Okay. So we're going to use this one in this episode. There is also a automatic one, and I'll use that maybe on the next episode, so you can see how to open up wine using that opener. Okay, so with that said, let's get into opening up this bottle. So you want to take your score. Okay, you want to take your score, and what you want to do is you want to hold it like with your finger, like you're pressing it against the actual bottle. And what you want to do is press it against around the side of the cap of the bottle. And it's almost like you're trying to cut it. So you're going to turn the bottle around. Ooh, where'd it go? You're going to turn the bottle around. Come on, where are you? Oh, okay. Oh, we're just cutting real quick. That was quick. And you just drag it as you turn. And as you can see, the top comes right off. Okay, just like a little circle. Okay, so you want to press it against it, hold it, and turn the bottle, and it'll come off just like a little C. Okay, all right. So now that that is done, now it's time to take the cork out. All right, so you want to open it up where it looks like a T. Okay, and make sure that your cork, your screw is in the middle of the cork. Because like I said, you don't want it on the sides, because if you get it on the side, you may not get the whole cork. So what you want to do is you want to turn it just like a T. You want to turn it just like you did the original wine opener. And the only difference is now you want to pull the lever down. And what you do is you use the lever to press against the lip of the actual wine bottle. And when you use that to press on the lip, you got to adjust the lip. You don't want to cover the cork. Now you want to lift. You want to lift the other lever. You see the cork coming up? And then as it gets higher, you go to the second level of the lever against the lip to pull the rest of it out. Okay? So I call this the T wine opener, the T corkscrew wine opener. Okay. And then you just hold it back up and you're done. All right. So since we have that done, since we didn't have it open, of course, it's time to aerate, everybody, right? It's time to aerate. Now, there are aerator pourers. So if you're going to be pouring throughout the day and you're not going to aerate the whole bottle, or you don't want to carry this big thing every single time, and you're going to be walking around and pouring, they do have little tops and little corks with the aerator attached to it that you stick in here. So when you pour it, it aerates it as you're pouring it out. So it just looks like an extension of the top, except the top will just have an aerator attached to it. And I'll show that in one of my other episode, maybe next week. Okay. So let's try this 3 nights Malbec. I already know it's gonna taste good. So I'm just drinking it so I can tell you all about it. Okay. I know this is gonna taste good. Now I haven't tasted this one by 3 nights, but it's Malbec, so I know it's gonna taste good. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna twirl this around. And this one, actually, when I twirl it, I can actually see the color a lot better with the light. And this actually gives it, the one from last week, the Pinot Noir, was like a brown burgundy. This one is more of a light red burgundy for the Malbec. And it's very bold. And bold, most Malbecs are bold and fruity. So I can tell you this before I even smell it or taste it. But because this is a bottle I haven't, and guess what? It's not like I've tasted 100% of the Malbecs in the world. So I'm just going to smell it and let you know what I smell. Okay. And now in terms of the body of this is just like the Pinot Noir. It's heavy bodied. It takes the legs a while to run down, but they're very pretty legs. They run a little faster than the Pinot Noir, so they're probably a little less heavy bodied than the Pinot Noir. So let's go ahead and give this a smell. Mm, it smells so good. Mm, I smell all the berries, very fruit forward, just like the Barbera and the Nebbiolo grapes. Very fruit forward. Blackberry, raspberry, cherry. I even smell a hint of vanilla in this one. Even a blueberry. And I want to say strawberry. Dare I say that? But I know strawberries have nothing to do with this, but that's what I'm smelling. Very, very, very fruit forward. And when I say fruit forward, I'm talking about the more you breathe it in, the more the fruit smell just stays in your nostrils. So let's go ahead and give this bad boy a taste. So you always want to, the first taste, all you're really doing is wetting your whistle and getting it around in your mouth. That's not the one you want to taste yet. So the taste is semi-dry. So it's not dry like the Pinot Noir that I tried last week in the previous episode, but this one is semi-dry, which means it still has some moisture. It actually coats your tongue. And it's funny because the flavor is all fruit forward, very fruit forward. And when you first intake it, I taste the more blackberry and cherry. But as the taste begins to fade, and just so you know, this isn't a short finish, I'm still tasting the flavors. So it does have, I'm not going to say it's a long finish because I won't consider it a long finish unless it's been past a minute. But I'm still tasting the flavors. But what I'm finding is as the taste begins to disappear, I'm tasting more of the secondary fruits that I was smelling, like your blueberries and your and I do taste some strawberry. I don't taste any vanilla, even though I did smell it, but I don't taste any vanilla. And as it goes away, the only thing now is gone. So I would say is almost a long finish. I'll say a medium finish. It's not short, it's not long, but it's right there in between. Um, Malbec's delicious. consistent every time. Malbec, always consistent every time. That's all I got to tell you, folks. 3 nights is good. This Malbec, still agreed. This actual bottle was $19.99, $20. Okay. So this is on the lower end. Some people may say, well, does the $50 one or $60 one taste better? Like I said, they've all tasted the same to me. Malbec so far has been very consistent, and I've been trying wines. I just started getting involved with trying various different wines, joining wine club, and learning about wines in detail since 2014. So it's been about 10 years now. But I can tell you over the 10 years, Malbec has not disappointed me at all. So I would say Malbec, thumbs up. 3 nights, Malbec, thumbs up again. So thank you for joining me. This was the story about the Malbec grape. If you actually enjoyed content such as this, please hit that like button. If you want to join and see more of the series, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you'll get the notifications. And outside of that, I would just like to say cheers. And I'll see you next week on Spirit Scrutiny when we actually talk about Cabernet Sauvignon.
Let's have a toast for the real ones.